So after 1969,
Yeah.
what have you been doing since then?
Well, 1969. Yes, I haven't. um I have continued writing for freedom, and of course I went along to any odd demonstration, but I really pulled back because um, um, I didn't want to enter into the sectarian arguments that went on in the anarchist movement any longer. I think that if we could have cut out those 20 years or what have you, although, I mean, there was a lot of things to do which were not specifically anarchist, like when Thatcher came to power, there was a lot of hardship for working people, and one continued. In about 1970, 1980, I became. They asked me to help with a community place in Kentish Town Toriano Meeting House. Where they asked me, I mean, probably I also forced the issue a bit. I turned towards poetry because I found that in the situation, maybe the poetry, they are not rich people, they just write what they want to write, and maybe their thoughts can be, they are more interesting than and it's kept me going for a few years.
So this is the Toriano Poets, and you've also
Yes.
been involved with Hearing Eye publications?
Yes, well, the point is this, that once a poem is said on the air or here and there, it ought to be printed for future. And so I don't know how, but we printed about 150 books.
Brilliant. And I hear there's a vacancy, so Andrew Motion might be stepping down as Poet Laureate. I wondered if that's something that, if offered, you might take.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Andrew Motion is probably was the quietest Poet Laureate ever, and he himself says that it has been an arduous task for nothing.
Well, personally, I'd love to see you write a poem to celebrate the Queen's birthday, John.
Well, the Queen, and her birthday. I think John Heath Stubbs should have been the Poet Laureate. He was a blind man. He was a Tory, and he would have written these pieces. But why? Adrian Mitchell, maybe he wants to be, but then nobody's going to ask him. They're going to get some establishment person who will say nothing for the next 4 years.
We've got about 4 minutes left. What do you think of the sort of contemporary anarchist movement today? Are you hopeful about change? Do you see signs which are encouraging?
I really feel that the contemporary anarchist movement is healthier than it was at the time when we were about. It now belongs to people. To people out there who are doing various things, like tomorrow in Hastings. If you happen to go to Hastings, there's going to be there are people trying to persuade others not to drive a car. This happened in Newcastle. It happened. It's not that the anarchist movement is. There are some very good papers. The one I always read, it's very occasional, is by Simcock, libertarian. I can't even remember the title of it, but it's Jonathan Simcock is the editor anyway. Yeah. But we haven't. It will be interesting to see in about 10 years' time what has happened, because clearly people just have to make a decision over their lives, unless they want to spend it in perpetual war and to be in the hands of certain zombies that call themselves government.
And you still remain as much of an anarchist? Have you always never any doubts? You're still committed to anarchism?
I feel that without anarchism, no political system could exist. This is the problem. There has to be some kind of say in a household. Say the mother comes up suddenly and says, "Well, pay me for the breakfast I provided to the husband and the 3 kids. Pay me." It doesn't happen inside a household. In a household, inside people's family homes, people behave as if they are completely, or should do. There are some tyrannical people. But once you leave and bang the door behind your house, then it's a different system. You pay for everything.
Okay, well, John, thank you very much. It's been an absolutely fascinating quick half hour of romp through English anarchism.
Well, I thank you because I very much admired what you were doing as well.
And I'd just like to add another plug. John's plugged something happening in Hastings tomorrow. I can say in London tomorrow at 12 o'clock outside the Stock Exchange there's actually going to be a Down with Capitalism demonstration, and Spivs and Speculators out, which will probably consist of me and about 4 other people. But if you're around at 12 o'clock outside the Stock Exchange in Paternoster Square tomorrow. Okay, that's the end of the second programme in the series. I'll have another veteran anarchist guest next week. Thank you very much.